Georgia, Georgia.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Look at this crew we've got for you guys tonight. I'm talking about this is going to be fun, fun till her daddy takes a T-bird away, right?
Woo, woo, woo. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hillbilly, what you been up to this week?
Oh man, just having some fun. Been
Spending money.
filming videos, editing videos, and just having me a good old time. Just having a blast. I mean, the weather's still okay, not too cold, but it's not exactly comfortable, but it's better than 100-degree weather, so I'll take it every day. So what you been up to, CW?
I've been watching all your Trigger Pull Thursdays. You've been going overboard. I said, hey, wait a minute. It's one per day.
That's why I call mine today's trigger pull. I can get it any day.
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. It zipped right by. I had a couple of really busy days of doing a lot of stuff that nobody likes to do, but it made the day go by pretty fast. And then we've had some, halfway decent weather, but colder temperatures. So not a lot of stuff going on outside. I got to deer hunt all day Saturday last week, so that was good. And we're going out tomorrow all day. Last week was the end of rifle. It ended midweek Wednesday, I think. And then muzzleloader opened up, and now we're on muzzleloader for tomorrow. So that's where I was today. We were supposed to go to the range Thursday, but it got really cold and windy, so we figured we'd just go today, and we did. We were there from noontime till about 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. And there was only a couple guys there. We had a good time. And no video, but there wasn't nothing to video. I did get a couple videos out. I did a little bit of reloading. I got some casting I want to do, but like I said, it's been cold. So that'll be coming up. Got another mold coming. That's about it for this week for me. What about you, Walter? Good to see your smiling face. I'm glad you're healing up. I hope that knee's doing good.
It's doing a little bit better. I hit the orthopedic office again on Monday, and I'm hoping he's going to give me a better brace so that I can walk halfway straight again. Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know, the busted kneecaps are a pain in the kneecap. So that notwithstanding, I'm doing all right. I got a bunch of videos done this week. That's one thing about being stuck at home and not being able to go too far is it's not that far to the bench and back. So I got several videos kicked out and got a little woodworking project done and got a bunch of, thank you, got a bunch of reloading stuff sitting on the bench waiting to happen. Thanks to that guy down there, right underneath me. And I got started on some of that today. So life is good. Couldn't be better. How about you, Gene? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really good, man. Look, man, I'm just here to keep you busy while you get your downtime. Okay.
Thank you.
That's my only intention is just to keep you busy. Now I've had a really good week, been really busy at work. Haven't got to make many videos, but I did get to make it to the range today. So be on the lookout for a really, really neat piece, man. Wow. Going to be hooking it up. Got to see Chris today. Chris and Jesse B stopped over at the shop, see me. I gave them a tour of the shop and what's and showed them what's what with everything. So that was really nice to get to see those two good brothers. Other than that, man, thanks for having me on here, and we're going to have a fun night. 7:40.
Hey, thanks for the invite. Been looking forward to this all day. Yeah, I had an awesome day. Picked Jesse up whenever saw Gene. Got to hang out with Heath, the guy that owns Republic, and I was getting low on a few things, so I spent a lot of money I probably shouldn't have today, but it was well worth it. And I got a lot of cool stuff over there, so I'm going to be able to have some pretty cool content. Bought a new powder I've never used, bought some primers I've never used, so bought bullets I've never used. So we're gonna have some fun testing some stuff out. But yeah,
Sweet.
super cool store, man. I could hang out in that place all day long. So, but anyway,
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, glad to be here, and we'll turn it over to Mark Thomas.
Hey, thanks. So nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Great to see everybody. It has been a busy week. I haven't done anything reloading or other than we did get to make a range trip on Sunday, and that was just me and Seth. I only filmed a very little bit. I wanted to try to get some chrono numbers on that 41 mag ammo, and battery went south on the chrono. So it's just been a busy week, been powering through, looking forward to tonight, looking forward to the rest of the weekend. So let's get this thing started.
All right. So I'm assuming all of you guys are spending money on kids, grandkids, and all of that, getting ready for the big night coming up here in a few weeks. So Gene spending his money on Gene. That's always a blessing. But it is more
I got that
blessed-
problem too.
more blessed to give than to receive. Look at here. That was my buddy, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog.
We got to
Howdy,
get him
Bulldog.
around here. It's been too long.
Yeah, he needs a link. I bet I got his email.
I think so.
Would you want to come on, Bulldog? We'd love to spend some time with you. Anyway,
We got room. There's a spot right down there. There's a spot. I see it.
yeah.
Sitting next to me, I'm okay.
There's one over there too.
Yeah.
We got two spots.
I don't know about sitting next to Mark, man. Mark's a little scruffy there. I don't know, man.
You didn't
That's
have
a very historical
Taco Bell
beard
for
that
dinner,
you
did
see
you?
there.
It's
Oh,
intimidating.
I had a wonderful dinner. We had
Taco Bell.
venison loins,
Oh,
pierogies. I
nice.
made some shrimp in a garlic Parmesan sauce. Oh, my belly's nice and full.
Very
I
nice.
bet.
I had to have a big cup of coffee, so I make sure I stay awake.
I was going to say, sounds like a recipe for a nap to me.
Been known to happen.
All right, Bulldog's up for it. Let's see if we can get some forward action
Oh,
going
that'll be
on.
great.
All right, first topic of the night. And this is for the reason we want to do this. Reloaders and not non-reloaders. Is there a firearm that you have spotted out there that you would like to get for Christmas?
Nah, of course not.
And that includes buying it for yourself. Because
Yes.
no. Sometimes we don't have people that can buy us big stuff like that. So you gotta do it yourself.
So I'll start it off. I should probably be a gentleman like Chris always does, and Hillbilly too, and me go last. But I never claimed to be.
It's
a
your
gentleman.
prerogative. There you go. You're in the big chair over there. So
I'll give you something to shoot for. I get bombarded with emails. Scotsman and I are talking about it all the time about how many emails, and most of them are gun stuff. I saw something that I don't really care to have, but I know somebody on this panel that probably would. Bear Creek Arsenal is now making 22 Magnum uppers.
Oh man!
I know.
Wow!
I knew I'd get a rise out of somebody.
That's a
Mhm.
near and dear caliber to my heart.
How
Yeah.
can you imagine 22 Magnum in an AR platform?
22 Magnum and 45 Colt are probably the two most owned calibers by me.
Oh, look at Edward Petty.
That's
He's
a good
got
one, Adam.
And that's a good deal, Adam.
I got one, Ed. But you can't have mine.
Julian was just texting me. He found a 57 today.
Did he really? That's
I don't know if he's
dog
going to buy it or not, but he found one.
He'll buy it.
Probably.
I already know he's gonna buy it. If he said he saw it, it's probably already in his safe.
But I tell you, anybody that don't own a 22 Magnum, try one out because
Hey, there's my buddy.
I love 22 Magnum. I mean,
Mike was just LB Mike was just over here tonight. Just telling him about our chat, and I gave him the link.
There he
Everybody
is.
welcome my buddy Mike.
all
All right, welcome
Welcome,
in.
buddy.
Yeah, he saves a friend of yours, but I didn't know if I was trying to figure out how to just copy and paste or type all that out.
Yeah, believe it or not, we went to high school together, but never met in high school.
Wow.
We didn't find out till years later.
I'll be darned.
And that's something. Just different circles, I guess. We weren't the same year, but we were close. We were in school at the same time.
So Edward used to have that 29-2. And Andre D'Angelo wants a Marlin Dark Series in 44 Magnum. There's another wish list one. Mossberg 940 JM Pro.
My buddy has one. Nice gun.
Yep, I had one. That's a nice shotgun.
Yeah.
But don't listen to what they say about not cleaning it for so many rounds. Clean it. I think it was what, 500. They said you go 500 rounds without cleaning it. I got just over 400 and that thing started choking like a chicken.
Yeah, I've been avoiding looking that 22 Magnum upper up, Jamie. I've been trying to, when I step
Mhm.
on the screen.
I think that would just be an awesome piece
Yeah.
to have, though, man. Who would not want to have that? You know, a 22 long rifle on an AR frame is just, but go Magnum with it and stand back. That'd be fun.
My Smith & Wesson was Sandy's favorite rifle, the 22 long rifle. And it was a fun one to shoot. It is a fun one to shoot, but she liked it a lot. I let her shoot the 1022 at a steel match we went to. We used to do a rotating match on Friday nights in the summertime in the evenings, and we would have a snub nose revolver, a 22 semi-automatic, 22 rifle, and then something else they would do for the 4 weeks in the month. And we went down for the rifle, and I brought the Smith & Wesson, and I brought the 1022, figuring she'd like the 1022 because everybody likes the 1022. Nope, she wanted to shoot that Smith & Wesson, and she did really good with it. So a 22 Magnum version.
yeah, that's a fun gun. That little Smith and Wesson, man, it is fun.
We got a sighting.
Already?
Already?
Wow.
Early tonight.
He's early.
He is
He's
early.
early.
He must not have had enough of us last week. He wants more. Well, are we ready?
Are we ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Mario!
Mario.
West Coast
West
weirdo.
Yep. Andy and
man.
I we're about, depending on traffic, about 3 hours, but really only about 20 something miles as the crow flies. 'Cause
Nice.
he's
Oh,
across the-
Oh
he's
no!
across the sound.
Get better soon, Mario.
That's too bad. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, after the first of the year, all the primers and powders are going up in price. So if you can afford it, pick them up now before it starts hitting the dealers and the wholesalers. And they got to start jacking their prices up. But Chris got to see racks of millions of primers today in all flavors. It was like
giving me heartburn.
Oh my God, it was like going to a Dairy Queen and, one of those dairy places, get a cone and it's got, all those flavors up there and you just go,
Powder Valley had Federal large pistol primers on sale last week. I bought a case. They were still on sale. They're still expensive, but they
That
were like
spent every penny
$79.
of your allowance, I think.
Yeah, for about the next 3 years. Between that and that 41 mag,
You'd have to wash extra dishes and cut the lawn extra good and walk
take
the
in
dog.
laundry. Yeah. Dog sit.
But there's a good question.
I'll sell my cane and crutches.
Something we don't usually talk about, but maybe it's something that people are liking, and that is air rifles. Anybody into air rifles? It's a PCP.
Well, we got 6-shooter Texan was over there. He's
yeah, we do Air Gun Sunday. Yep. Yeah.
Well, we want to do a show about that, and we want to have 6-shooter Texan on with us that night.
Heck
So,
yeah.
That's something that needs to happen too. Yep.
we've got an air gun rifle store that's just a couple miles outside of my range in this little bitty town. And every time I pass by there, like I gotta stop. I'm gonna have to stop one day and go in and talk to them.
Well, I got to admit that I never paid a whole lot of attention to it until I started watching 6-Shooter Texans Air Gun Sundays. And every time I watch, I go, dang it, man, it looks like a lot of fun. And that, you can get into it relatively inexpensively. You can order them online, even here in California. And so I did. Not a rifle, though. I ordered a pistol.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. They really are.
There it is.
Is that under $200? Oh, it's just okay. It's just a barrel.
That was just the barrel, but is there a whole upper?
Oh yeah,
it was.
I thought I saw an upper down there below.
Yeah,
there's
that middle button.
Get those uppers. What are we looking at? For price? Yeah, under $300. That's not too bad. You can come up with a lower and a kit.
Come with a magazine.
Got to have something.
Got to have something.
Yeah, I wonder if it has the AR style magazines like the Smith & Wesson does. I really like that.
Gonna have to explore that a little bit more because that's really attractive.
Whose magazine could they be using if it was like an adapter or something?
Yeah,
I wonder. They
would almost have to be making their own.
Yeah,
I've never seen one
out there.
I mean, the Glock mags are nice, but to me, they just look silly sticking out of an AR style body. But I mean, it's really nice. Take mags, Glock mags.
We don't got to worry about gas systems. We got blowback. 15.
They don't have like an entire gun for sale, right? Just
no. You go buy your lower and go from there.
Okay.
Oh, side charging too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at Bear Creek Arsenal.
Jamie, you're a bad man.
I seen they had a 20-inch barrel. 20-inch barrel too.
Yeah.
I gotta go get a tissue here. I'm drooling.
Look at that side charger.
Yep. 22 mag ammo has been kind of scarce around my parts here lately, although I'm starting to see more. It's still expensive, but it's there now.
Cases of that years ago, so I'm deep in it, so I'm good.
Jamie, call your buddy at Smith & Wesson and tell him to make a 22 mag barrel to go on these 22 lowers and stuff.
Do they have one of those uppers in 17 HMR too? Because they're selling
I
mags.
think they did. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
selling mags for both.
yeah.
Oh, really, man? Because I've got literally a ton of 17 HMR ammo.
So the magazines are $24.99 and they are 10 rounders.
This is an interesting question from Bama Dad. Maybe some of you guys can help answer. Mostly what I see is around the $15 to $20 mark on hazmat fees.
Yeah, it can be as high as $25 is about the highest I've ever seen. And you can, for that one price, you can ship up to 50 pounds in combination with, primers and powders and everything else off that one fee. So it behooves you to get as much as you can absolutely afford at once, or go in with a couple neighbors or something and spread that $20 out. And then there's regular shipping, the freight is on top of that.
Yeah, that's what we used to do years ago. We would go to the gun club or the pistol team, for me, a pistol team, and we'd get a bunch of guys together and we would buy a bunch of different powder and group together the hazmat charge and just divide it between, 2, 3, 4, or 5 guys, whoever wanted to do it. And it was great. Everybody saved money and shipping.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
The Bulldog,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Look
Hey,
at that
Bulldog.
bug.
Hi, Bulldog.
Good
How
to
y'all
see you,
are?
Bulldog.
Long time no see, man. What you been doing?
Oh, staying out of trouble.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you.
I will testify to this for Bulldog. He has not called me to get him out of jail at all in the last
In the last month, huh?
I think he keeps a bail bondsman on retainer. Not really.
No, I just try staying out of trouble.
He's down in Louisiana, and I'm going to make a trip down there one of these days.
One day.
Monday.
No, I said one day.
Oh, one day. I said I'm supposed to work this Monday. Well, it's good to have you on with us, man.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here in such esteemed company.
Wow. Check that out. $150 to ship primers to Alaska.
Ouch.
Yeah, we get requests all the time for to ship stuff to Alaska like that, and it's like, man, my boss tells them, look, buddy, if you got a friend in the States nearby, you're better off just shipping it to your buddy in the state here that's actually on the land here before you send it out to the hook.
Yeah, that's where they get you, Johnny, is that shipping and handling and the hazmat. And I was at the last gun show I was at. There was a guy there, had a booth set up. He was selling Barget for $77 a pound.
Man,
Selling? Really?
Well, it was sitting there.
Oh, okay.
It was sitting there with a price tag on it. I didn't see anybody buy any. Okay, so guns you wouldn't mind having for Christmas. And Hillbilly dashes out on us. And I've done tempted.
Oh no, I was gonna answer guns and water out there. So does anybody remember buying powder by the scoop? They put it in a paper bag, and my grandpa, he had a leather sack that had his powder in it, just in there loose. You know, that's I was gonna answer him, but yeah. Oh man, guns for Christmas. I'm still like wishing and hoping to find a really nice lever action 410. That's something I'd really like to have. No particular reason, just I love lever actions, and I thought, man, that'd be a great little snake gun or whatever, you know. Yeah, I think I've spent my alignment already. So all those Black Friday deals and everything, I ended up buying some stuff. So it would have to be a really, really good deal and something I was really wanting. But now that you pointed out that 22 Magnum, now I'm going to be over there on Bear Creek checking that out.
Yeah, I was hot for one of them lever action shorties. I forget what they call them, but the real short ones. There's a name for it. I can't think of it. Rossi. Not
Mare's
Rossi.
leg.
Henry. Henry brought it out. It's a mare's leg, but they have a different name for it in 410.
Oh,
And
axe.
yeah, axe. There you go. And they just went through the roof. It was right when COVID started. They went through the roof. And I said, there's no way. It's just not worth it. I mean, it's not worth to me what they're asking for it, but it'd be really nice to have. I'd really enjoy it. And I ended up picking up a pump from Charles Daly. That's pretty neat. It's a lot of fun. It's not a lever, but it's 410, and it's got a spring assisted pump. So when you pull it back to reject, you can literally let it go, and it'll slam forward, feed the next shell. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. As far as guns I'd like to see under the tree, I've been eyeballing that Gerson long slide 10 millimeter for too long. I'm going to own one day.
That's a sweet gun, buddy.
I'm going to own one day. But now Jamie's, dangling a carrot there of a 22 Magnum. And I could order the Bushmaster and have it shipped right here.
So that's the great thing about buying uppers. They come straight to your house.
Yep.
Right.
Chris from the 740. What are you asking Santa Claus for?
Well, it ain't gonna. I'll have to be Santa Claus and get it myself. But there's really only two that I want right now that I will buy probably before SHOT Show if I can get my hands on them. But I'm kind of waiting for SHOT. I want to see what all new stuff's coming out. But I do want that Rossi 22 mag lever, the black American flag edition. I want to get that. And I'm still waiting for the SAR-9 SOCOM. I have no idea where that gun's at. I guess it's probably tied up with ATF stuff. But whenever that thing gets here from Turkey, I'll have that. But those are really about the only two that I want right now. Maybe a 22 mag upper.
There you go. There you go. Go along with that Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Gene? What are you seeing out there?
There's a few things I like to get. I like to get a Heritage Tactical Cowboy, just because. The new Springfield Echelon I've been looking at for a pistol. I really like that. See them around quite a bit. A lot of reviews on them. Bear Creek Arsenal has side charging 308 uppers for under 300. And I was like, there goes my paycheck this week. And there's another bolt action 308 I used when I looked at an LGS, and I cannot remember the name, the brand on it, but it was nice. It was a good price on it. It came with a decent scope. I just can't remember. I haven't looked at it. I looked at it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, so names escape me after that long. But yeah, I'm gonna be Santa Claus to myself, especially with these things.
Yep. Something I got to get used to now, so I might as well start.
I've been doing this for a long time, CW.
Well, of course I have to, but now I got an excuse.
But that Bear Creek 308 upper side charging.
I think my buddy has one. I'm pretty sure he does. I know he's got one AR-10, and I'm almost positive it's from Bear Creek because he bought a couple of them in the last couple years. because they've been good to him. They've been working good.
Yeah, I mean, Bear Creek's got good stuff. Just make sure everything's tight on it. Just precautionary.
And my 450 is a Bear Creek barrel. My buddy wanted a side charging upper when they were selling them, and COVID came and you couldn't get side charging uppers at all. They were just making complete uppers. So he finally decided that he's just going to buy a complete upper to get the complete upper assembly to get the upper receiver. And I said, well, go ahead and get a 450 Bushmaster, because I would like to build one, and I'll buy the bolt head. I'll buy the bolt head, the barrel, and the gas block, and you can have the fore end and the upper receiver, and we'll split it. So we did. So I got a good deal, and he got a good deal, and he got what he wanted, and I had to build a 450 upper.
Well, I've already gotten an AR-10 lower, complete, sitting in the box.
Perfect.
Just waiting to put an upper on it. I've got a buttstock. I got a forward grip. I got a bipod. I got everything except the actual upper. I started collecting stuff and just kind of lollygagged about it. But that's a good price for that Savage.
That was my first Bear Creek buck, 6.5 Grendel. I got it for my anniversary, a barrel, and it was a really good shooter. It's a real good shooter. Look at there, a Savage 429, Axis 2 XP.
with a scope.
Yeah. Tell you, I've seen a few of them. They shoot.
Yeah,
Those Savage Axis are pretty. They're pretty good out of the box.
Yep, they shoot.
4 interest-free payments. 107.50. That sounds right up my alley.
Well, the scope does have an adjustable
Objective, yeah.
objective. It's up there in the front where you have to reach up there. I don't much care for that, but probably a Weaver scope.
Well, if it comes with it,
Yeah.
always give it a try.
All right. I just wanted
Sometimes
to
they have choices on scopes too. Sometimes.
And let's see, we've got a question, and then we'll get to Walter. But Johnny 1982, and Andy's already started helping him with the Little Dandy. What makes the Little Dandy such a good powder measure?
Simple, lightweight, easy to use. You can hold the thing up in one hand and move it along your loading tray instead of moving the loading tray under the powder measure. So there's a couple of nice advantages right there. Doesn't take up much room to store. The advantage / disadvantage is that it's not adjustable beyond the idea that there are 30 or so different what they call rotors that go in the bottom end of that thing, and each rotor is bored out to a certain volume, and you get a chart that says, hey, if you use this number rotor that has this volume in it, here's what that one will deliver with Power Pistol or Varget or whatever powder you're putting in there. So you don't have any adjustment beyond the size of that particular rotor, but they'll be close to what you're looking for. For example, I've got half a dozen pet loads that fit exactly in certain of those rotors, and so it just makes life really simple. You don't have to go every time and adjust your powder measure.
Well, I'm going to say this without
Walter, if you load 50 BMG, do you use the Big Dandy or?
Yeah. Use a beer can for that. It's a special size.
I'm going to say this without the ability to back it up with a name or a location, but those with good Google foo can probably find it. There's a guy out there making an adjustable rotor for the Little Dandy.
Oh, really? That I did not know.
I want to say it's about $40 or so, which is expensive, but when you think about it, it's adjustable. I mean, you're spending
Yeah.
$15 each on the rotors. So you buy a couple of rotors, three rotors, and you've spent that kind of money. And there's,
Yeah.
like Walk said, there's 28 sizes.
Yeah.
So, it's not such a bad deal if you like it. And I
Yeah.
do like the little dandy. I do like it a lot, but it's like Walter said, you're limited to what the chart says it'll drop, and it's pretty accurate. It's really pretty accurate.
Yeah.
You
And,
can
and
you can fill the cavities to lower the amount to make it less, or you could possibly drill them out to make them a little deeper, or
Mhm.
change the shape to get more powder in there. So if you're handy, there is options that you could do. But personally, I would look for that adjustable rotor. It's something I've looked at it. When I find it, Walter, I'll send you a link.
Okay.
I think my buddy knows where to go.
Most of our mechanical powder measures are only precise to plus or minus a tenth of a grain anyway. And if you look at the little dandy, it's going to be similar. And from one rotor size to the next is usually only a matter of a couple tenths. Down in the handgun range, they're different when you start getting up into rifle ranges of volume. But for the most part, you're looking through your data manual and say, oh, it wants 5.4 grains of tight group. And you go look at your chart that they give you with the little dandy and say, oh, this rotor will give me 5.3. Go with that. You're probably okay. But and you learn to make your own kind of chart, because whatever that chart says is not going to be what you get when you use it. It'll be close, but that's as good as it'll be. So,
Sorry.
Plus or minus a smidge.
yeah.
CW, I done had that comment up there.
Okay. Sorry, I missed it. I was reading. Do you know the guy, Andy?
Hillbilly's being funny. So, Walter, Mr. Broke Knee Mountain, what are we doing here?
We went around the room, and where did we stop? We stopped with
Walter, time to tell what he wants for Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my mind's changing even as we speak. Once that Bear Creek thing starts showing up, because I got a Smith & Wesson unit and that's all I'm going to say about it, sitting here right now, that I have a 17 HMR system on top of. It's an old one. It's not made anymore, and it kind of works, but it doesn't work very well. But boy, that Bear Creek 17 HMR is calling my name with a 20-inch. Hiya, Rigby girl. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing, honey? Say hello to us. Except for that guy sitting right next to you. Don't say hello to Papa. You know how he is.
Is she growing up or what, guys?
She is getting to be a big lady.
Oh my goodness.
I wrote a riddle on a piece of paper right now.
You gonna read it to us?
Yes.
You gonna tell us the riddle?
Saw the riddle.
Look at that kitty cat. You see the
Look
kitty
at
cat there?
Kitty cat.
Hello, kitty. I feel like I got a cardboard cat of it. Hold up.
No, you're not taking over my show here.
Can I tell y'all the riddle
Hey.
now?
I think she is.
Please do it, hurry.
It's
What
all about the little people,
what
guys.
number do you take half of and get nothing?
Number you take half of and get nothing.
Twice
I don't
zero,
know.
still zero.
I know.
I was never good at math, because
Twice
nothing
is still
divided
nothing.
by nothing is still nothing. Is that right?
Nothing divided by 2 is still nothing. And
Is
it's-
That's it.
Y'all tell y'all's answers.
you go away.
Wait, let me tell y'all the answer. It's
Look,
8. It's 8 because you take off the half circle. You take off the half circle and it makes 0.
There
Well,
you
missed
go.
it.
That's a good one.
I like that's even better. None of us got that one. Nice going, Pawpaw.
Good night, Rigby.
All right. So anyway, good night, Rigby. So yeah, that 17 HMR upper that will fit on my Smith & Wesson lower. And I already looked at the magazines on Bear Creek. They're $20. They got them for 17 HMR made by Black Dog. So that could be what shows up for Christmas.
Oh boy.
There's two other ones that I'm looking for that I won't find between now and then, though. And I still want a Ruger Blackhawk and 41 mag, and I have lever guns for all of my other revolver calibers except for that new 41. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye out for probably a Henry 40. Henry makes one 41 mag. I don't know who else is making them, but all of it, both the Blackhawk and a lever and 41 are hen's teeth right now. They're not out there. Someone's hoarding them all.
Henry
Probably
makes them on
CW.
occasion.
So anyway, that's me. But man, I got an itch and I got to scratch it. But I like 17 HMR. A lot of guys don't, but I do.
Mark Thomas,
So
what do you got that you're looking for, or looking at, and liking the look of?
Well, I still want to get a 45 Colt single action,
There you go.
and I'm not even looking too fancy. Just an Uberti, something
Fair
to bang
warning.
around with.
Fair warning, one is still one, and two is one, and
yeah,
they multiply.
Yeah.
they do.
Well, shooting the single shot has gotten me real interested in 45 Colt, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. But when I did my trigger pull video yesterday, and I can't remember, I think it was Rich B asked me how old that was, so I went and looked up the serial number, and I think it's around 2009. And while I was looking it up, I saw that Taurus made an announcement about 4 or 5 days ago. They are going to grant my wish, and they're releasing a 3-inch 327, same as that little
Cool.
357 38, the 605 that I have. And boy, I'd love to have a 327 with a 3-inch barrel. That would tickle me pink.
Isn't
So
Ruger making one now too?
Well, they've got the SP 101.
No, what's the other one there? The LCR. Aren't they making a 3-inch LCR?
They may well. They may, yeah.
I thought that they were, or they talked about it.
I'll tell you, I like my Cimarron Uberti revolvers. I've got a single action army is just, they're so nice. The Italian walnut grips are beautiful. The brass frame and color case hardening and stuff on them is just a gorgeous gun, and they work. They shoot well, and they're not as expensive as a Ruger.
Yeah, I've got the Pieta 1873 single action 45 Colt. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, they've really come a long way. They used to be really soft parts.
Mhm.
They used to have a lot of problems, but they've come a long way. They're really nice.
I just got my heart set on some Taylors, but that's another topic for another day.
Yep.
What you got on the wish list, Bulldog?
Well, about the only thing I've been thinking about is a 300 Blackout for my Encore. 300 Blackout barrel.
They're a lot of fun. It's a really fun caliber.
Yeah, I've got some 300 Blackout in both regular long action and in AR, and but I'd like to do one for single shot Encore.
I had an H&R single shot for a while, and that is one that I wouldn't mind having for the Contender. Yeah, of course it'd be a 300 Whisper for the Contender, but they never made it out that I know of. But the Blackout did for the Encore.
Yeah, I've got a Contender and an Encore, and I'd like it for the Encore for the the length of the barrel, but I wouldn't mind one for my Contender either.
Yep.
But I do like shooting that 300 Blackout. It's a sweet caliber, especially when you suppress it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that 327 is interesting. That gun you showed CW on the trigger pull thing, that's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. Nice carry. It's nice handling. It shoots pretty good. It's not as accurate as my 5.5, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Got a purdy sister too.
Yep, got a pretty sister too. I bought a brace of them. I got consecutive serial numbered 2 of those.
Wow.
I knew a guy.
That's a shame, Walks. But Bulldog, there's a company that still has, they make barrels for the Contenders and Encores.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've been reticent to pay the prices that they're asking for them because they're not cheap.
Somebody asked if we'd heard of a 40 Super.
Yes, Tactical Rabbit, and I have heard of them. And they pretty much died on the vine. It just didn't take off. It just didn't offer enough of a difference. And
Wasn't it basically a 45 ACP necked down to 40?
I think that's
So
what
that it
was,
would
yeah.
look like the 357 SIG kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was the 357 version with the 45 case, and there's a couple of people did that. Oh, there we go. Andy just sent me a link for the rotor. I'll forward that to you, Walter,
Thank you, sir.
after the show here.
Great.
Yeah, that's what he said. Based on
Yeah.
45 ACP neck down to 40.
Yeah, the 357 is, I think, a 44. What is it? Bain and Davis, 44 mag neck down to 357. That's an interesting one too. That really intrigued me. The maximum ballistics, almost 350 Legend ballistics.
So, Tommy Boy, this company right here, SSK, that you're talking about, they make the frames, the receivers and stuff. And there's quite a few companies out there that are making barrels, but I was really thinking about yeah. I'm really thinking about getting one of those. Ain't that all of us, Mr. Pollard? Have enough calibers, need stock up on primers.
Yeah.
Well, tell him to come on by the shop. We'll take care of you.
There you go. There's the man right there.
Bring a dish towel. You're going to be drooling.
Personally, I think I'm good on primers with this last batch that I just bought from Powder Valley with large pistol primers. I think I'm set unless I get really heavily into rifles. Then I don't have too many rifle primers, but handgun primers I'm flush with at the moment.
Okay, they still don't have the frames yet. I'll be
Yeah, it's
glad.
been a while.
But Bulldog, the name of that company that I was talking about is E. Arthur Brown.
E. Arthur Brown.
E. Arthur Brown. Let me see if I got an email from them. I got one from everybody else.
That's a distributor, isn't it?
They have a store. They have an online store.
A lot of
Jamie, if you
lot of-
find the email, send it to me.
EABCO. Let me.
Do you know where SSK is located?
They might have been in Ohio.
They're down the road from where I live.
Yeah, I thought they were in Ohio.
Well, go up there and tell them we're ready to buy some
Yeah, knock on the door.
contender from Pro Hunter Encore.
Look at we've got a sighting in the side chat over here. Who's this guy? Kyle
Kyle
Lusk? Who's that guy?
Kyle Lust. What's his name? Who is that? Who is that masked man?
Where you been,
I
man?
never heard of
Hey,
I know
Kyle.
you did. I wish you could join us.
Lehigh Defense bought SSK Industries in 2019.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
that's who owns SSK. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, there must be some troubles there because they seem to be pretty good moving company. Lehigh. They're doing good things with bullets. E. Arthur Brown is over by Tactical Rabbit.
Yeah, they're just down in Monroe, Ohio.
This email, Bulldog does not mention their barrels for the Encores.
Okay.
They have had plenty of them. They sell stuff like they're an accuracy company. They have an AR-10 accuracy barrel, 22-inch, 6.5 Creedmoor, heavy profile, $200.
Oh, that's not bad.
And they're starting to be an Arkin Optics dealer, but they're going to have to go some to beat buying direct from
Factory.
Arkin, because they've got. I'm sending you the email. Play around on their website when you
I will.
get that. I don't know how many
will.
folks out there are familiar with E. Arthur Brown. And we are nearly time to do our first feature, and we still have not called out the side chat yet. And we're showing 61 out there right now.
Whoa.
Welcome in,
boy.
everybody.
Better
That's
get to
awesome.
that side chat first.
All right, so let's do what can we type in? How about SSK? And it went by me.
And they're off.
All right. Let's see if I can do this. All right, Walter is first as always, followed closely behind by CW Longshot. Chris from the 740 is in third, and Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog. Then we got Michael Dunn on the outside, Duffer 426, Andy 79Z28, Papa's Place, Kyle Lusk, Hillbilly Up, Bobby Barlow, Adam Winchell, Corners and Doors. Georgia Trapping and Fishing, the Trapper is out there. Edward Petty, Johnny 1892, Kyle, Tommy Boy, Rich B, Dale Poe, the Scottish American, Walks Fletcher, Boomsticks Revenge, Rollis Carvelis, blah, 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 blah. Tactical Rabbit 308, MacMan 039 Reloading, Harm, Dwayne 7834, Boomstick Revenge, Guns and Water 67, Rebel SST AMC, Andre D'Angelo, Hobbies Hobo, and I've lost the page again. Okay, CW Longshot again. Mr. Pollard, James Pollard is out there. Duffer 426, M. Gabriel, Andy 79Z28, Papa's Place, Mr. Bob's out there. And Johnny 1982. So there you go. I want to thank each and every single one of y'all, all 61 of you, for coming in and joining your night with us tonight.
I just threw a
Anybody else?
comment out there that's it's kind of the same big crowd every Friday night, and that's a level of commitment that you don't see everywhere. You know, when I was school teaching, I wish I had that kind of return attendance in my classes.
Andy, I am sorry, sir. You are welcome here anytime. Anytime.
I know we've sent a few.
And there's Mrs. Hotshot.
I see her all the time.
Yeah,
But
never
the
get tired
rest
of it, do you?
don't.
Not really.
The rest of us don't. All right, let me do this. Do this. Okay. Hold on. Are you ready?
Mike says we're the lead poisoning support group.
It's time for What Hot Pot Got.
Woo!
And I need to do this. I need to do this. And I need to do that.
Now, many may recognize this cartridge. This cartridge is like many other cartridges, but this cartridge is a Turkish edition cartridge for this round. And this is the 7.92 by 57 millimeter Mauser. This particular cartridge is a 1948 edition from Turkey. The Mauser cartridge was adopted by the German Empire in 1903 to 1905 and was the German service cartridge in both world wars. In its day, the 7.92 by 57 Mauser cartridge was one of the most popular military cartridges ever. It was designed by the German Rifle Testing Commission. It's produced from 1903 to present in just a different. Got one here. This is a present day one. It just says 8 millimeter Mauser on it. But this cartridge is a Turkish edition of the same one. The parent case to this is the, what would we say that was, CW?
I don't remember if the 757 predates it. I think it does. If it does, that would be the one.
It's the
7 millimeter.
the parent case to this one is the M88.
Oh, the predecessor to it. Yeah.
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 Really see down in there. Nice Burdam primed.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, snake eyes. I look for those all day in brass. Let me tell you what, with a flashlight. So y'all better appreciate that when you make an order. Well, I thought that'd be something neat to bring up. I mean, it is a common cartridge that most of us out there do know about, but this particular case is a Turkish case. So if you've never seen anything like this, there you go. And that this evening is what Hot Pot's got.
Okay. CW and I got to add a couple of things. The J was 0.318. The JS is 0.323. And about that same time, the American munitions board was trying to come up with something, and yeah, we kind of got in trouble. The 1903 Springfield is very similar, and we wound up having to pay the German government. I find that comment right there very 3,000 feet per second. And we're not talking about 150 grain projectile either. I think those were what, 192, I think.
196 was one of them, but they had a number of bullet weights. Depends on a number of factors. I don't know what the Turkish was.
I seen somewhere around it was a 170 and change is what I think.
There was a number of different bullet weights.
Yeah. I just thought this was neat because it was actually a Turkish manufactured 8mm Mauser round.
I've got a few cartons of that. I don't know what dates mine are.
I mean, I see the 8mm Mauser, the standard. This is PPU here.
Mhm.
I see that every day. But seeing this stuff come across, this is a rare. I just don't see this stuff very often at all. I've only seen a few pieces of it, so I grabbed it.
Pop the top.
Yep. On my root beer.
A likely story.
154. I figured likely Tommy knew.
Barks, no
There we go.
less.
Yes.
I'm a dad's guy myself for root beer.
Well, I quit drinking in 81, so this is my beer.
It'll do.
Good stuff.
I
Sure,
quit drinking
great.
something about then, but I don't remember what it was.
Barks has bite. It used to be its
Yeah, it's logo or motto or whatever. Yeah.
right.
Now, this chart I'm seeing here shows a 181 grain, 187 grain, 196, 198, and all the way down to a 139 with a green tip.
Dang.
The test barrel length on them was 23.62 inches.
So welcome in RTAC and Daughters, SSK, I'm sorry. So I think those green tips, are they armor piercing? Probably.
Probably so, and they've got a 3,000 feet per second.
Yeah.
All the other ones are running 2,700, but that 139 grain's got a 3,000. That's hauling. And I mean, you're gonna maintain that with that length of a barrel.
And there's Defense Dad. Also, welcome in, buddy.
Yeah, we got GGW Outdoors just popped in too. Hey,
GGW
Joe.
joined us.
Hey, man.
And
Good evening, Dad.
Tommy
I got-
Boy, the silver and copper bullets were how they had light ball and heavy ball.
Yeah, I got some green tip 22 long rifle. They're armor sandwich meat piercing.
Sandwich. Yeah.
Go through a piece of bologna like nobody's business.
You bet you, buddy.
Y'all see how many packs of bologna it'd take to stop a 22 hillbilly.
We'll send that over to 22 Plinkster and see what he can do with it.
Yeah. Probably about a 5-pound round log.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
Andy's shooting 113 grain and 30-06 at 3,000 feet per second.
That's scooting.
Yeah.
That's moving. There's a question for Gene.
Oh, 7mm? Yeah, we got it. I think right now we got about a half a 5-gallon bucket of it. See a lot more of the 8mm than the 7, but we do have the 7.
Andy, zinc is fast and speed kills, brother. Speed kills.
Yeah.
You ask any baseball player, speed kills.
Man, those Andy bullets is like having a 7-speed manual in your car instead of a 6.
Yeah. I remember when I first started shooting zinc and, casting and shooting. Well, Andy sent me some first, and then I started casting my own for 9mm, and I chronoed some of those things going out at like 1,800 feet per second or more. And I got, holy cow, this stuff is ripping out of here like crazy, man.
Yeah,
That half bucket of 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum brass today was, I'm like, I wonder how much money's laying in that bucket right now.
Boy, oh boy.
Between that and the 460,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, 460 gets you don't find that much, and it's expensive when you do.
And that
Yeah,
338.
I think you're supposed to
Lapua.
send all your zinc over to Hasbro.
Yeah, he needs
You need
more.
to send all your zinc to Andy.
I'm going to be sending a bunch of it to Andy. I'm sorting through wheel weights right now, and I'll have a bunch of it to send to you.
He's much appreciative of it, I am sure.
I will vouch for that.
And you look around, and there are a few folks that cast zinc, but nobody's been doing it like Andy and reporting out all his results and doing all the experimentation that he's been doing. And he's been real good about sending test bullets out to lots and lots and lots of people, so that they can get in there and kind of show what they can do with it. And so thanks to him, largely we're starting to develop a pretty good database of information about shooting zinc. And you follow the pathway backwards, and it all goes back down to Andy.
I'm not willing to go down that rabbit hole.
It's really not a big rabbit hole. The stuff is easy enough to cast, and zinc is plentiful.
Yeah, it's not a big rabbit hole, but once you start down it, it gets awful convoluted.
Yeah, Andy has trouble getting back out of it for sure.
I ain't willing to do that.
Yeah, that hole ends up being on the edge of a cliff of a huge cave.
Yep.
And that one step, man, you're never coming out.
I wonder that I just saw Boom's comment. Is that video going to be on your channel, or is that going to be on Buckeye Ballistics channel?
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, second topic. When you go to the bench to reload, how many rounds of pistol ammo do you load at one session, and how many rounds of rifle do you load at a session?
All of them?
Till you run out of primers.
Yeah.
One at a time.
All right.
Well, I'll start it off because it's easy for me. I rarely load more than 50 or 100 at a time. I used to load a lot more than that for handgun rounds. I'm talking about. I got a couple of pet loads that I'll do 500 at a time. Like that, there's a cast bullet for 9mm that I like a lot, and I might sit down and load 500 of those. But that doesn't even happen very often. It's going to be, I'll say, between 50 and 200 rounds is it for me for handgun rounds. I enjoy the reloading sessions more. It's not drudgery for me. I don't want to sit down and do 1,000 of them though. I'd rather go to the bench more frequently and load less. So that's me for handgun. Between 50 and 200.
Yep, I'll go. For handgun, if I'm loading like my 9mm, 40, 10mm, no less than 500. I like to do 1,000, but it's like I can't stand a partial box of primers. I just want to burn that box up and get it done with. If I'm loading like 45 Colt, something like that. 300 blackout. I'm usually doing 50 at a time. 100 is maximum for me on something like that. On 44 Magnum, 45 long cold, 38 special, 357. Because I'm not going to shoot that as much, so. What about you, Chris?
You guys are going at it.
Mine varies. It really depends on the mood I'm in. Sometimes if I got a load of laundry to do, I'll get down and start the washing machine up, and I can load a couple 100 rounds of 9mm on the Progressive while I'm waiting on the washing machine to get done. Most of the time when I'm watching everybody on the panel and everybody out in the side chats videos, I'm in the reload room. I kick YouTube on the TV and I just start reloading. Sometimes with 9, I'll sit down there and maybe only do 100, and sometimes I'll do 1,000. It just depends on, especially if I get into like a 2 or 3 hour live chat, like watching the replay, I'll just sit there and hammer down on 9mm. But like if I'm on my turret press and I'm loading 223 or 300 blackout, a couple 100 rounds is about max for me, and I'm done. Like, call it a day, go back down the next day. But as long as I'm entertained, I can keep cranking out the 9mm because it's just robotic. It's just like sit here and go and go and go. So it just depends for me. But because I got to multitask everything. I can't just do one thing at one time. I always got to be doing multiple things. So.
For me, it's going to be about 50 pistol, depending on just because it's going to fill the tray and then it's going to fill the box, and probably about 20 rifle for the same reason. Most of the rifle cases I have will hold 20. So I'm going to load those up and take them to the range and test them out. That's kind of my numbers. Keep them low. If I find something I really like, then I might load up quite a few more. But I'm still just testing and playing and learning.
What about you, Chuck? You got to turn your speaker on, though. You're muted.
There we go. I'm there. I hadn't been loading that much pistol and rifle lately. I've been loading more shotgun. And so it kind of depends on what I need for who's coming over and what I've already got on the shelf.
Yeah, that's that's pretty much the same for me. Generally, it's a box. So 20 rounds of rifle or 50 rounds of pistol. But like I said, it depends. So if I've got a proven load and I want to stock up, the sky's the limit. I mean, I could switch over the Dillon to it if it's a smaller caliber that I'll load in the Dillon, and I could fill a 50 caliber ammo can. If it's something like I'm accuracy proving or trying to find an accuracy load, it's generally 20 or 30, 5 rounds at a time, 5 rounds per load in ladders. So it's really variable. A lot of times I'll go down and I'll do steps or stages. So I'll work on 3006 brass for a week. Just go through all the brass, prep it all, clean it all, trim it all, and just throw it in a box. So when I do want to load it, it's already sized, trimmed, cleaned, primer pockets taken care of, flash holes taken care of. I can just pick it up and prime it and charge it and seat a bullet, and I'm done. So that's what I do. But it just depends on what I need. If I got competition ammo, if I was shooting that again, I just run the Dillon, and kind of like Chris, I'd be doing something else or laundry or something. I go by the magazine tube of primers. I'll charge up a half a dozen tubes of primers, and when that's done, I'll stop. So
What Dillon are you using, CW?
550s.
550s?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like my 550s.
I've been looking to get out of my Lees and into Dillon.
Yeah. I think
I
there's
use a 550 also, Bulldog, and I had a 750 for a while, and it was just overkill. Took up too much room for me, and I went lateral and traded it off and got a 550 instead, and that suits my style perfect.
So an 1050 would be overkill, right?
Well, it
Depends on
depends
your
on how
needs.
much you're doing. You know, if you go
Yeah.
watch MacMan and look at his setup, you know, he's got bunches of Dillon presses in there and everything all the way up to the fully automated systems, and he uses them. But I would never use anything like that. I just have no need for it.
I'd use it once, and then it'd be like, okay, we're done.
550 is a good machine.
That's where I'm at, Del Pogue. I need to get all my brass prepped. Hey, GGW.
I generally don't prime ahead of time, generally. And that's because I don't know exactly what primer I'm going to want for what I'm doing. And you can't really tell the difference glancing at a primer. You know,
Yeah.
you got copper ones and brass ones and silver ones, but you can't tell a Magnum from a standard. And some of them don't label, stamp the match primers to know it's a match primer. So generally speaking, I don't prime ahead of time unless it's a caliber that it doesn't matter. You know, like my blackouts are my 223s. My Ruger bolt gun does not like hard primers. I'll get misfires or I'll get light strikes. I've changed the springs. I've talked to Ruger. It's an early model. It just does not like them. It does not. So I can't. I got to use a regular 400 primer from CCI or a regular Remington. I like Remington primers. It won't work with a Magnum or a 41. It won't work. So I have to prime brass, 300 brass separately. Whereas, like the new Hammer, that's pretty much all 41 because it's only an AR. So I want to stick with it with that primer, and I pretty much do it there because although I used 41s as a sprinkling, I've got a number of bricks of them, and to have a dedicated caliber for them is good because it won't deplete my other primer uses, and I'll have a use for a primer that wasn't seeing a lot of use. So it's a good thing because I've got them. If I didn't have them, it'd be a different story. Like small rifle Magnum, there's not a lot of uses for that except my Casuls. So that's pretty much where I dedicate them to. But I have one of my muzzle loaders that uses those primers as well in a 25 ACP case. So I use them there too, but I don't shoot the muzzle loader very much. You know, dozen shots a year is a lot. So
I'm with Hasbro. If I tried to prep even just all of my 9mm brass, it'd take me till the middle of next year. I mean, I've got 5-gallon buckets of it.
yeah, in a progressive, I don't prep cases. I'll load progressive, like 223. I still do prep that because I load it smaller quantities for my bolt guns, but the stuff I use on the Dillon, I don't bother to prep that. 40, 45, I don't bother to prep any of that stuff. I just pull it out of the bucket. It's washed, but that's about it.
Well, let me ask you guys, fellas, this. So I don't reload anything as of right now. I'll be doing hopefully shotguns this winter. But I have a ton of, especially 9mm, 38 special, 357, some stuff like that. Would it be wise to just leave them, back in the boxes, sitting there empty, or piled in cardboard box or whatever? Would it be worth my time to go ahead and, buy a cleaner, deprime them, clean them, at least get that done, or, also maybe go ahead and prime them and just leave them stored like that. I mean, is it worth it, or would it be better just to wait? Because it might be another 6 months or a year before I start reloading.
I wouldn't prime them, but I already told you why I'm saying that. But as far as cleaning them, sorting them, sure. You know what? I like the plastic shoe boxes you can get at the Home Depot or Lowe's.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a big shoe box, and those are really nice. They're stackable. They're clear. You can see through them, and it'll hold quite a bit of brass.
Get them out of the cardboard.
Stack them up. I wouldn't put them back in the boxes.
Yeah, if you leave them in cardboard, they'll start corroding.
Yep.
Do you like
cardboard absorbs moisture?
Yeah.
And the boxes that I shoot them from, so like they're the same. Like if it says whatever Winchester, whatever, all those in there are Winchester. Do you guys try to keep those brands together? Does it matter? Or
I'll put them in baggies inside that plastic box of segregated of brands. So
and you can get yourself the case prep tools and go ahead and go ahead and size them and sort through them, and and while you're sorting through them, look for funky cases that are dented so bad you don't think they can be fixed, and splits and that kind of stuff, and toss those. Start a recycle can for your brass, and learn how to trim and then do the chamfer and deburr. You can be practicing all that stuff, and then before you know it, you've got a whole bunch of brass that's all set to go, and you don't have to do all that other kind of stuff. And you, as CW says, I do the same thing, put them in a Ziploc bag and label right on there, what head stamp is this and what have I done to this brass?
Yep. And as far as after you get it loaded, it depends on what I'm doing with it. A lot of times, if it's just blasting for the fun at the range, I'll just throw it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in my box. If it's something special, like it's a match or something, I want to keep it segregated, I want to know how many rounds I have, I buy the plastic, any one of the different companies. MTM is a big one. There's a number of them that make slip top or snap top or hinged or different kinds of boxes for 20, 50, 100 or bigger quantities. The big rifle stuff, they got some nice boxes with handles on them even for proven loads and stuff like that. And that's what I use. I've got a number of big giant cardboard boxes on my storage shelves that are just chock full of red, blue, green, yellow, orange plastic boxes. And I'll just dig through there and find the appropriate caliber and load them up, fill them up.
If you don't mind, Jamie, I want to highlight this. I think Hasbro is trying to really help me out here.
Yeah. Hasbro's such a helpful guy,
Yeah, he's a great feller.
He is.
That's a lot of work prepping that brass now, Hillbilly. It might be worth your time.
Now, Hillbilly, were you asking about the brand of the brass, sorting, keeping? I probably wouldn't do that with 9mm.
Okay.
Like your 9mm, just throw it all in one bin. I mean,
okay.
Maybe I'm different than everybody else on the panel, but
I agree with that on blasting ammo.
Yeah, 9, 40, 45. There's no point in separating it.
Just shooting fun ammo, you're dropping cast bullets in it or plated bullets or something. Yeah, you don't really need to segregate that.
Well, I'll probably be shooting these at my match grade competition high point. So
you want some more for that.
Oh,
then you want the best you need the best ammo you can produce for that girl.
That's it. You got to make sure that none of your head stamps are, Winchesters or Spears or anything bad like that.
Yeah, right.
All the
well, there is one when it comes to revolver brass. Hornady brass is notoriously shorter than other manufacturers, and there is a reason for that. And why we pay attention to that is that when it comes time to load a revolver round, those bullets have either a cannelure or a crimp groove, and if your case is way shorter, it may miss that cannelure or crimp groove, where all your other cases are fitting it just fine. That one might miss it. So
that came to be because of their FTX line of bullets.
Yeah,
they're a little bit longer
bullet.
and they're pointy, and they, in order to make them work for a number of the calibers, they had to shorten the case up to get the crimp right, and that's why you only find it. And that's not for new Hornady brass. That's for range pickups.
Yeah. And so if you get
brass,
that stuff, you just sort that out, and then you can load up a batch of 50 or something of that, and it'll all be the same.
Hornady brass is one of the least purchased by me. New.
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy brass, it's going to be Starline, or it's going to be a bigger quality name.
We ran into that with 4570 at the shop.
Yeah. 4570 is the big one. That's the big offender. 357, they make some. Some of the calibers, it's not as big a deal, but that's the big offender. Everybody likes that 325 FTX bullet in the 4570. And, if you pick up 10 pieces of brass, I about guarantee more than half of those are going to be short. It's a real common find.
I think this comment here might be pointed towards Boomstick's Finger Pull Thursday.
Finger Pull Thursday, yeah.
All I'll say to that is you just can't chew corn up good enough.
Oh man.
Hillbilly, something you might watch out for on some of that, like 9mm and some of the 223 ammo. They have a crimp on the primer, and it makes them very difficult to reload. The primers don't go in very smoothly. Now it can be fixed. You can swage those back open, or you can use a tool to take a little bit of material off to open them back up. But as CW will teach you, once you take it away, it's gone. But if you move it, you can still put it back.
Yeah.
Winchester white box is terrible. That's the one I've had the most trouble with. If you
That'll
shoot
give
some of
you a
that,
good reason to buy a case prep center, Hillbilly.
oh yeah, yeah.
Have all the fun with that. You can do all kinds of stuff with that case prep center.
Or you can be a cheapo like me and use a cordless drill.
There you go.
That works.
Harbor
Yeah,
Freight
we're
drill
good,
press on my end.
Well, see, that's
Yeah.
that's the purpose of my 308 series. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make really good ammo.
Mhm.
If
Very
that's,
true.
If that's if you can do it with a cordless drill or hand tools or whatever, and you may not or may not want to part with the money to buy these, like Dillon 550s and 650s and such.
Well, when I started reloading, I didn't know how deep I was going to get into it. So I went the economical route.
Right.
I bought the Lyman, the Lyman little hand tool, that's got all the little bits and stuff in it. And I've just gradually taken those bits and just put them in my cordless drill. And now I'm looking at the case prep centers.
Here's something that you want to watch for as well, Hillbilly, and that is Berdan and Boxer primed brass.
Mm.
You want one hole, not two. You got snake eyes looking at you. Throw that in another bucket, because that's
Okay.
It is reloadable, but let's just call it not reloadable because it's different primers. The design is, if you look at the middle picture there, the design is the anvil, which is part of a primer, is in the case in a Berdan primed case. In a Boxer primed case, the anvil is in the primer cup. And that's the bigger difference.
Okay.
So when you're looking at your brass, that's what you want to look at.
All right.
Yeah, you don't want to run that stuff through a standard size deprime die, because you'll just bust your decap
And
pins on them.
here's what happens when you have crimped.
Walter, don't tell him that. That's everybody's got to
primers.
experience that on their own.
And that's
The
not,
rite of passage.
that's not a pornographic picture. Those are not nipples.
Yes, they are.
Those are those are,
That looks
Get that.
sexy to me.
yeah. Well, that's what happens. So
Yep.
primers glued in, and you get crimp primers. You can punch right through the cups.
Hillbilly got off easy. You guys are helping him out. I had to learn that the hard way.
Well, I think all the rest of us did too.
Well,
Yeah.
Jamie told me if you drill that primer a little too big, you can just use some JB Weld to hold it in there. So he's been giving me some good lessons.
Yeah, you can epoxy that right in there. Yeah.
Just JB Weld the hold shut completely. No problem.
Yeah.
I know the answer to that. I won't give it away. Tommy Boy's got a question. Okay, which primer is the American design?
That's easy.
Did I
The one
just
that's
see
red,
Brooke
white, and blue?
Cheney jump in the chat?
Do what, Chris?
I said, did I just see Brooke Cheney jump in the chat? Oh, she's over on Hillbilly's side. There we go.
Yeah, I think so. Howdy, Brick. Yeah, I've seen American primers with red, white, and blue ones.
And just because they look like brass cases doesn't mean they are. Here's a magnet.
No, it does not. I did a video on that. I called it
Oh,
"Check
wow.
Your Brass," and I showed where they're brass coated, but they're steel.
There you go. Use a magnet.
Yep.
Really quick. You run a magnet over your brass and you'll find it right away.
I bought one of those Harbor Freight little tool, magnetic tool caddies, little pieces and parts, little bowls, and I just plopped the magnet off of one of those because it's big and it's cheap, and I can lay the brass out on a pan and just run it over top of it, and I find quite a bit of it too, and we see a lot of it at the shop.
We're glad you're here, Brooke. You're just in time for the verse of the week. Actually, the verse of the week is late tonight. But it's been a great chat so far and a lot of good conversation, good topics. So, see if we can get this here. So, if y'all remember last week, we started with the Beatitudes and we're working on through Matthew chapter 5. And last week was verses 14 and 15. And who remembers what those verses were about? Walter's
Walter,
I
you got
mean-
it.
Be the candle and let everybody see it.
See the light.
Be the light, and don't be afraid to let it shine. Let everybody see how you walk.
well, see, the reason he knows that, y'all, is he read ahead.
Yeah, I read ahead about 50 years ago.
Yeah, which is our verse tonight. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So basically, this verse is explaining it's just explaining the metaphor in verses 14 and 15
Mhm.
that we had last week. I probably should have included this verse in last week as well. So we want to do good works. We want people to see those good works and in turn give glory to the one who deserves it. And that would be
Amen.
our Father in heaven.
Amen to that.
This series of verses 14, 15, and 16 reminds me of Ephesians chapter, not Ephesians, yes, no. I can't remember. I think it's not Ephesians. Maybe it is chapter 2, verses 8 through 10.
Boy, I don't know that one.
The For it is through grace that you have been saved. But through it is by grace you have been saved through faith, not of yourself, so that no man should boast.
Yeah.
And verse 10, which everybody stops after verse 9. I'm going to have to look that up, aren't I? Verse 10 says that you are God's workmanship, and He has preordained. That's a bad word to say in Baptist circles. He has arranged for you in beforehand. So basically, He saves us through grace, and it's not nothing that we did of our own. We did nothing for our salvation. He saved us, and He saved us to do these good works, so that we can let our light shine before men, that they may see our good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. There's two things I've learned in my life. Number one is God will not share His glory with anybody, and He will not be mocked. So Brooks got a verse. He who descended is the same as He who ascended high above all heavens, that is, His presence might fill all things. Amen. There's a lot going on right there, and in Romans too, particularly Romans chapter 9. Good night, Andy, if you're not gone already. Thanks for being here.
Good night, Andy.
Night, Andy.
See you, Andy. Thank you for that email, buddy.
Any other comments on the verse of the week?
Not for me tonight. I think you guys already know that this is the Beatitudes are one of my favorite parts, in the New Testament anyway. I've always kind of been drawn to them for some reason or the other. But I think they're important. So I'm glad that we went through that section.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that you can't take credit for anything like that. That good Lord, you shine the light, of the Lord, and if somebody would, if you help somebody out or whatever the case might be, you need to give the all the glory to the Lord, not yourself, because it's not, you can't be responsible, or you can't do those blessings. Only the Lord can. Yeah, because we're just, as humans, we're just not capable.
You don't even think about it in your own flesh.
No.
Yeah.
You don't do it because you want gratitude. You do it because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. And it's not something you necessarily go out and seek to earn. Like, you don't go say, I need more money, so I'm going to go get a job. I need to be saved, so therefore I'm going to go do this, that, or the other thing. That's not quite how it works.
It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same.
Not a checklist.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, Jamie. I kind of feel like I want to say this. Somebody's out there and they might be having a rough time, and they just think that they're just really no good for anybody and stuff. I gotta tell you, and I believe this is on my heart. We're all made by the Lord, and I will tell you one thing: the Lord don't make junk. He just does not make junk. So you're made by the Lord, and so therefore you're not junk. You're worth it. So
Your worth is no less or more than the other person next to you.
mm-hmm.
We are all equals.
And see, we're going to get into that as we go through this Sermon on the Mount thing. Hey, Ricky Baird.
There
hey,
he is.
G23.
G23 is out there. Ricky,
What's
boy,
up, G?
Steve's Woodworking and Homestead.
All right, Brooke, you got to come back every Friday night. I love your Bible comments. So there's that. And I probably shouldn't say this. Probably should wait for the verse to come up. But there's a section in the sermon where he says, "You worry about what you should eat, where you should stay. Does not God provide for the bird, the sparrows? They want for nothing, and they're not one of them falls that He doesn't take notice. How much more value are you than the sparrows?" And it also says that if you do this for the least of these, you have done it unto me. And he's talking about giving a cool cup of water to somebody that's hot and thirsty. I like what Bulldog said. Just because it's the right thing to do. Amen, brother.
Amen.
They're still on the primers. That's pretty wild, ain't it, Rabbit? How we wound up using the Europeans' design and they use ours.
Well, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. You can ask any cow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the Brits took our primers. We took our freedom from them.
Mac
Good
Man
even
loves
trade.
that comment.
Good trade.
Good trade.
Hey, Chad Kelly.
Chad popped up. Mr. Pugh.
I gotta say, I
found-
like Chad Kelly's channel. I don't know why particularly. He's got way more cool stuff than I'll ever have. But he's out there chugging at it. Boy, he's doing better and better and better in his contests and stuff all the time. He's sure having a good
fun.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having fun.
I like the video he just put out with that cartridge holder.
Isn't that
can-
nice?
that fold that book style one.
Yeah.
That was nice, man. I really like
Did you
that.
catch the part about why he got that?
Yes. Yeah.
He had
'cause
that
he
big
dumped the
plastic
box.
case, and he picked it up, and it wasn't latched, and he just dumped the whole thing. The ground. I could just see myself pulling that stunt, you know, just picking the weeds off your ammo and stuff.
Yeah, brushing every piece off and putting it back in the box. Yeah, that was nice, man. I mean, just keep that right next to you, sling it over your shoulder. Man, that's a really good idea. I might look into getting one of those.
Yeah, it looked like a good rig to me.
Chad's that buddy you have that motivates you to do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't either, Chad, and I still don't have that stuff yet. We're all living vicariously through you.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I think that's partly true.
So keep the videos coming, bud.
He's moving up there in subs. He'll be hitting 1,000 here before long. He's getting close.
You'll have to do a pretty cool giveaway with some of that stuff.
Yeah, all of it.
Coltec makes some pretty neat stuff. Check out their
Yeah.
website. They make some pretty neat stuff.
Oh, my favorite rear bag is a Coltac.
Yeah. They
That
got
rear
suppressor
bag-
covers and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
He'll have to send out his leftovers.
Yeah, there you go.
Coltac was at one of the IB 88, 88 shoots I went to. They have lots of neat stuff. There's another company that, Chris, isn't there a company that sponsors you that does like rear bags and gun rests and stuff like that? Or do they just do the bags? Savior?
I don't have any like shooting rest or bag sponsors.
Is that
You got a
Savior?
Target sponsor.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're thinking of, Jamie.
Oh yeah, Alan does have bags. I just don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I seen it on your video. Said something bags or whatever. Yeah,
No, you're talking about Savior Equipment.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, the range bags. But I don't have anybody. Well, I mean, I guess I probably could get them through Alan, the shooting bags, but I'm hooked on that turret rest now. That's all I need.
I'll see you shoot an automatic pistol out of that.
Yeah.
I love that Coltac rear bag. But there's another company that sells different sizes of the front for the front bag. Anyway, we got to start rounding up and getting our stuff out of the way. So Gizzard Gary, Lizard Larry, whatever y'all calling him this week, can come in. Let's start with Bulldog, man. What have you been? How you been, and what you got coming up this week?
I've been staying out of trouble, as I usually say. Been dealing with some migraines, but that's okay. That's kind of goes along with my usual everyday thing. Don't have a whole lot coming up. Just getting ready for Christmas and being able to share some fellowship with good people.
Love you, brother. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
You have to come back soon. There's new Texarkana. About time you showed up. Dang. He's working this weekend. He's so, yeah.
Good to see you, Hugh.
Good, happy camper. What you got coming up, Mr. Mark Thomas?
Well, we'll just have to see. Bulldog, it was awfully nice to see you. Been a while. Great to see everybody. Been a wonderful evening of chat. I don't know how much reloading I'll get to do this week. I don't know that I'll get to the range at all. I am working on a couple other projects. Fellow out in Idaho got a hold of me and wanted a scabbard for that Rossi Brawler and something that would accommodate a red dot. So that's the current one that I'm really excited about. It's going to be kind of neat. Set it up so that it could be. He wants to attach it on his dashboard in his Jeep so that it'll stay. But we're going to set it up so that you could have it as a like a cross draw chest rig and put a couple bullet loops on it. So that one, hopefully, we'll have that by the end of the week. I'm going to work on that on Sunday.
That'll be cool.
Weather here is supposed to be horrible on Sunday. We're going to go to Airsoft tomorrow, and that's pretty much what I got coming up. Just been great. Thanks for having me. Great side chat. Christmas is coming. Get ready for it.
Yeah, you have an appearance this weekend too, don't you?
Yeah, I think we got to do a little bit of a little battle.
Yeah, Scotland wouldn't let me in that. Doggone it.
Me either, Hillbilly. Don't worry about it. And Walter's definitely not going to be in it.
I'm not sure that I could get into it. I don't have enough to play.
We're in the same boat there, sir. You know what, though? I'm going to say this. Even though having something this short trimmed down, when you shave it off, you really notice it. I mean, it's like, woo, what happened? I can't imagine
Who are
having those
you?
fluff balls on the front of me.
I don't understand. Hold on. What? Shave it
Yes.
off. What is that? I don't understand.
It's not in your vocabulary. Don't worry about it. It's foreign
I
language.
I haven't heard that before.
That's that foreign language Yankanese.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, Gene, since you butted in, go ahead and tell us what you got coming up.
I'm sorry. Let's see. I got a couple really cool videos coming up on something that was really cool that I got to borrow and play with. Just thanks for having me on. Sorry I butted in. I had to comment, you know.
You didn't really. I was just picking on.
Well, I am, and I'm me, and that's all I can do about it.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
Hey, thanks for having me on tonight. Had a good time. Got to learn a little bit more about the 8mm Mauser, which is really interesting. The more I do this, what's Hot Pot got, the more I learn about different cartridges I have no clue about. And just information, man. Just keep feeding me. Like I said when I first started coming on here, always ready for some good schooling.
Hey, man, that was fun. I actually knew something about what you were talking about this week. I feel special.
This is special.
That's why they let me ride the short bus to church every Sunday.
They didn't have room for me.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what you got coming up, my brother?
Well, first off, thanks for the invite. And it was awesome getting to hang out with Bulldog tonight, Mr. Brother. And it's just been a great day, man. Got to hang out with you guys tonight. Got to hang out with Gene today and Jesse B. It's been a fun day. So as far as what I got coming up, there's a lot of videos coming up, like always. So thanks, Jamie. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man, glad you were here. Appreciate you. And I like that Sally video, but that thing's steep, so we'll see. Mr. Walter, what you got coming up?
Well, I'm going to try to continue to get my knee healed up. I go see the orthopedic dude on Monday and hoping he's going to give me a better brace so that I can at least walk, one of the hinge ones instead of this mummy that my leg is in right now, which will mean that I can get to the range and do some shooting. But beyond that, I've got some reloading to do thanks to this fellow right over here who got me set up with a bunch of components. And so I'm going to start stepping through that stuff that he sent me. In fact, I worked on some today, and I'm not sure how I'm going to put that in video yet. I may do it in shorts, with this piece and that step and that step and that step, so I don't get in trouble with useless tube. And I've got 2 more weeks worth of Moldy Monday with all the casting, shooting, and stuff done that's in the bank. So I'm going to be keep putting those out until I run out of material. I'm way far away from running out of molds. I keep buying them. But anyway, so we'll have a Moldy Monday coming up on Monday, and the one after that, I've got one all ready to go, and then I think by then I'll be ready to go out and start shooting again and doing some shooting videos. So that's me. I'm happy to be here as always. I look forward to Friday nights, and it's a good place to be on Friday night. This is a great community, a great fraternity and brotherhood that we've got going, and we've got to add the sisters now too. We've got several of them that are part of the family. So I appreciate each and every one of you over in the side chat. That's a big deal for me. Trust me. So that's me. What do we got going on upstairs here?
Good to hear. And we just picked up one, 58. So it's still a bunch of us out there, a bunch of you guys out there. And absolutely, we really appreciate it. We're here for you guys and because of you guys. So a lot of really good input on this chat. And it was really, really good. As always, great to see all you guys. Great to see Chuck. We don't get to see him much anymore, and I'm glad to see him looking so good and svelte.
Thank you.
Staying out of trouble. I got probably a few videos coming out. Can't say exactly what. I don't have anything in the queue, I think there's one coming out tomorrow, but you'll have to wait to see what that one's going to be. I do some deer hunting tomorrow. I do have another mold coming. Mihek there has got some. He's a sneaky devil. He keeps sending me reviews. Want to do a review on your mold? I do a review on the mold, and he sends me 10%. So I go over there and I find molds that are on sale, and I add my 10%, and holy goodness, that's cheap enough. And he ships stuff, and it's like 3 or 4 days, you've got it on your doorstep from the other side of the world. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, and we're not exaggerating in the least. Walter just experienced it. I ordered one, I don't know, a month or so ago on a Friday, and it was on my doorstep on Monday over a weekend. So
Yeah.
crazy. And they're nice stuff. So got that coming. We'll see what I see tomorrow. I've been seeing bobcats on this property a lot and able to video them, so maybe I'll get some neat footage tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I'll have a big monster rack buck to show you, but something. Hillbillies, what do you got coming up?
Oh, buddy. First of all, I want to say thank you all for having me. I always appreciate it. Friday nights are a blast. I love being here with y'all. Actually, I have a video coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a carry concealed purse review, believe it or not.
Are you going to dress up for it?
You moving out here to California to shoot that, or what?
Yeah.
With or without
But,
nipples?
Anyway, got videos coming out just constantly. Saturday nights, we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be having, on the 23rd of this month, Saturday night, we'll be having a Christmas giveaway. So some people's already donated some stuff. And plus, what I'm giving away. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great giveaway. And on that same night, an hour before mine, which is 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, Brooke Cheney has her show, and I'm going to be on her show that night, right before we do the Christmas giveaway. So big weekend for me on the 23rd. So if you guys want to jump over and, visit us, we sure be happy to have you. We just try to have a good time.
That'll be good. Good to see.
Jamie, what you got coming up, buddy?
Nothing, man. I'm gonna clear the deck, and man, I've got so many ideas but my life is sideways right now. I'll tell y'all about it. My daughter and Rigby moved back in, and wife's been feeling bad lately, so we just I just get home from work and start my second job here at the house, taking care of all the girls. That's fine. I'm blessed to have them in my life to be able to do. And got a grandson on the way. Supposed to be here in March. So that's a blessing. And spending lots of money on Santa and all that. So, I need to finish up the 308 stuff, and I'll be working on that hopefully next week, if not for sure when I'm out for my Christmas break. Y'all remember that we love you. Thanks for being here. There ain't nothing you can do about it. We hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock.